The Flipears Legion. Let's talk about it. Now, this is a $850 tribrid from a kind of new to the West brand company named Flipears. This is the first IM of theirs that I have reviewed, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. This is a demo unit sent to me by Enigma Photos that he's been touring, and I wanted to say a big shout out to him. He has a YouTube channel and he reviews IMs. You guys should check him out. As this is a tour unit, I do not have a full unboxing experience for you, but Flipears also has a YouTube channel that I would encourage you guys to check out, as they do have some full unboxing experiences. But we're going to try to look at this experience and kind of talk about it and kind of go from there. The shell of this is massive. It's a big IEM shell. I can't describe to you that this is a large shell that may not work for people with small ears, and that is a concern. You can see the bone conductor driver. It's like silver right here. It has a nice nozzle, and the nozzle holds ear tips well, which is a positive thing. One thing to note, though, is it does have an extremely recessed 2-pin cable connector, so that's going to be hard. It is extremely large, has a very deep 2-pin cable connector. But the faceplate is extremely unique, and I love it a great deal. Look at that. It's just cool. The included case is premium. It feels and looks good. It's just a nice piece. Like, you could almost fit like a little DAP or a dongle DAP in there, and it's just looks and feels good with a good amount of room. The cable is very nice. Like, I really like this cable. Has right and left connectors. It has a functioning chin slider. Look at that. Doesn't even move. And it has a Y split with a little bit of a branding on it, which is nice. It adds a nice touch, a moment of thought, of processing. The cable itself feels extremely spongy and clean on hand. This is a 4.4 only that terminates in a branded Flipears connection. So how does this sound? This is an extremely engaging, fun, mid-bass style IEM. There's not a ton of mid-bass style IEMs out there. So I want to give huge props out to Flipears Legion. They have a unique tuning in the market, and I think people that are looking for that mid-bassy bone conductor driver tuning are going to love this. There are some faults, there are some issues. We're going to talk about it. But for those that want that tuning, for those that are not looking for a bland, boring, dry, neutral, this is going to knock your socks off. And because of that, it becomes a very engaging, very fun IEM that I think people are going to love. But this, this contrasts very well with a lot of other IEMs, and I wanted to be very clear that this is what I consider to be a fun IEM, not a clean, good IEM. All right, let's look at the Flipears Legion's graph. What do you notice? Kind of a dip here, which kind of make things sound hollow and feel a little bit off. You'll notice a lot of mid-bass region here and a little bit of 4K region, which some people can be sensitive to, and a lot of 8K, which can kind of increase the sharpness. But I think sometimes that's kind of fun. You do have to know what regions you are personally sensitive to, and if these two regions are an issue for you, I would highly suggest you consider things differently. How does this sound in my ear? Really, really strong and really good. Is it perfect? No, but it's a fun, engaging, powerful experience, and that's something to note. Let's look at a few others. First of all, let's look at the Z Empire. Now, I like the Z Empire. I think he's a good dude who's just starting out making his own, but a lot of times these bone conductor driver IEMs are kind of janky. And they have issues. You'll notice how they both kind of have this weird sort of mid-bassy kind of peak here. For me, the Legion fixes that and has nice upper mids. I like the upper mids. I like this dip around 5K. I think it really helps kill some of like the hiss and problems that other bone conductor driver IEMs have had. It just sounds better in ear. And while the Z Empire is not a bad set, it's what I call an extreme fun set that I don't think I could handle as a daily driver. The Flipears Legion, I absolutely could, and so because of that, it gets a different kind of a recommendation. As we look at other sets, I talked about neutral sets a little bit ago. Something like the Theaudio Monarch Mark II is a really good set. I know they've recently kind of redone them to kind of redo the drivers. It's almost like a new edition, and it looks a little bit different, has a little bit more detail, but it's still a really fantastic set that if you're looking around an expensive IM around $1,000, you want something that's clean, that's pure, that's just sounds like glass. The Monarch is the safer choice. The Legion, with its few bumps here, and here, it is a little bit fun, engaging. It's not perfect. The Legion's what I call kind of a fun set that can work as a daily driver, and so because of that, it's pretty neat. I wanted to show you some of their bone conductor driver IEMs to show that there are these weird little peaks and weirdities sometimes in these drivers. I mean, you look at the KB or KB ear, whatever, KB02, and you'll notice there's some weirdities here. This has a lot of upper mids, but it is a little bit smoother. It does sound like garbage though. It's $40, but it sounds like a $12 IEM. It doesn't work as a daily driver. It's kind of bad, but it's fun. And so if you're looking at a fun, super mega cheap IEM, I would encourage you to try it, but it's not where it's at. Other things to look at, like the Pula Anvil, you'll notice they kind of have some similar frequency issues, but the Pula Anvil, for me, and it sat weird in my ear and had a lot of hiss and dynamics. I knew a lot of people really liked it, and they liked that amount of detail from the Pula Anvil, but for me, it didn't work, and it didn't have the right treble. The Flipears Legions is leagues above the Pula Anvil as well. Another thing to think about, if you're looking at a bassy set, something like the Scarlet Mini, though, like it has a ton of air, it has a ton of bass, but it has kind of a weird sound quality and a little bit too much of an engaging bass presence for me. And like, if I had to recommend one or the other, I would go with the Legion. They're not too far apart in price. I think maybe like $250 apart in price. So I do think the Legion's the better, safer overall bet for things like that. Another one to consider is the Origin. Now, these two are almost exactly the same, and we've normalized this around 500. But you notice that the Legion has way more sub bass, a little bit less mid bass, has way more presence region here, has a few more peaks. I want to say the Origin's just overall, it's a safer tune, but for other reasons, you might want to get the Legion. I think the Legion does have some promise. And I do think these two trade blows between each other. And I personally would go with the Origin over it as a safer bet, but as a more fun set, as a more engaging set, as a more unique bone conductor driver, I think the Legion beats it out. When we look at other sets, like something like the Triton, I like the Triton. And I think these two are right about on the same level for me. And I think the Triton is a really nice, clean set. It has a little bit cleaner lower mids, but its upper air and presence region are just kind of, I wouldn't say dead in the water, but not great. Like for me, the Legion has a little bit more contrasty flow in the upper air and mid presence region, and it just kind of works a little bit better for me and in my ear canal. Another one to look at is the Musa. Now, the Musa is extremely expensive. It's a beautiful set. It does a lot well. But like if I had to pick one and I do believe that I'm rating the Musa a little bit better than the Legion. But what's interesting about it is that I think the bass in the Musa overall, it's a little bit better, more engaging. Like the mids are a little bit cleaner in ways. But the problem is that I think there's some spikes, some regions of the Musa that do bother me, and that makes it a harder listen to tolerate. Like this kind of 6K peak is something that I can tolerate for about an hour, but after that, I'm like, bleh. The Flipears Legion is something that that doesn't bother me. that I could have an ear for hours on end. So it's tough. They trade blows extremely close, despite one being 4,500 and one being 800. So it's just something to note. For me, I would recommend you guys EQ some stuff like changing the upper mids here and the lower mid range can really kind of fix the mid range and make this sound a lot cleaner. Do you have to EQ this IM? No, but it is one of those IEMs that I think becomes quite a bit better with EQ. All right, the Flipears Legion, let's rank it up. How did it do? I mean, overall, nice set. There's good amount of air and contrast in this set, and it's a good, strong bass. Its mids are a little bit off for me, but it still sounds like a nice, clean set. It has good air and detail for a bone conductor IEM, and good, it images well. Like, things sound right. With EQ, I do feel this bumps up significantly. If you can change the mids, you change the imaging, bam, it all of a sudden livens up. But you can say that about a lot of IEMs, so it becomes kind of an unfair statement. But overall, it is a clean, fun, and tuning with good soundstage, and as an extremely fun, engaging set that gets a recommendation. Now, I'm going to mention this real quick, but, I do list a lot of IEMs here at the bottom, and this is where I work on IEMs and try to figure things out, but oftentimes they're going to change on various times, and you can kind of see what I'm working on now, and they will get moved up to the top when when the review goes live. So this is where some of the things are happening here. All right, the Flipears Legion. Does this guy get a automatic recommendation? No, it kind of doesn't. I've heard good things about the Aegis, and I have that coming in here in a bit. And so I personally would recommend maybe waiting on some more reviews of that. I know they have a flagship coming out soon. And this is an overall strong, solid IEM that I think if you guys try and you want to buy it, you should buy it. But if someone's looking to buy their first $800 IEM, I don't know if this is the safest based off FR and based off some of the experiences that I've had. But this is a gorgeously packaged IEM that I could see other companies trying to sell for a lot more. And in that regards, I find it to be a good, strong value in the market. And I think it is a flagship, like a statement piece for Flipears. And I look forward to their company and see what they do in the future. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Bye-bye. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for our next video. Well, we don't have that kind of money. What are you expecting? One of those store reviewers to show up in a saucy little leather number? Go. Oh, I can tell you one thing. We are going to have a collab video. We have no idea what it's going to be. Probably Kryn, maybe Chris. Or Joyce. Don't deny it. She's got range. Go. Get out of here. Go. 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 Go on with you.